Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma, the ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. My own family can barely get by as it is. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day.
Well, that's strange. You were helping him.
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to... All I know is that I will perform, and... Does
it have to do with the...
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, to top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. If you don't believe me, go find...
Huh. But we better confirm. We should be able to follow...
We really outdid ourselves this... All those samurai houses packed with goods.
You haven't seen anything.
Today's just the beginning.
You demand, boss.
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after.
Another test subject. Picked the wrong test subject.
Aw, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss.
Not bad, kid. Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh?
So what did you see inside?
Food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal?
You've got a deal. Now
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here, but
Yeah, a lot of them, and they all seem to be made out to the owner of a... We better talk to this... As for you guys...
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOU.
Shut it.
Welcome to Tsukumo, or perhaps there's... Ah, so you're...
Whoa! How did Kurosawa end up owing...
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment. However, the price of provisions...
So that's how he was getting... But why did he have to purchase...
Well, if you think about it, the citizens... Kurosawa thought that, so he deemed it necessary...
Wow. Kurosawa was purchased, and no one ever
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth, of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. As for why he chose to... If you're still curious, what... I see. Most unfortunate. If he...
Sword?
Oh, I've asked him about its origin. In hindsight, why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps... Oh, but before...
But...
And don't worry, I won't charge much.
At least we now know where the Let's go talk to Kurosawa again. What are you doing?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my... It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions.
Strange. Is that... I don't really have any such recollection. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I... But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those... This sword... I remember once when I was young. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot. All I can remember now is my... And... said to me...
Hey! If you look carefully, can you recognize the words?
Virtue? Somehow those two words seem to taking on seeming... But what use of virtue? The Tenryo Commission sees my vision, and the irony of all... I'm incapable of being a good...
Yet another when we get the chance, let's... In any case, we must... Yeah. Seems... Fortunately for us, let's go find the next... third person who had their vision taken? Paimon heard that this is his dojo.
Nanako, don't worry. Since those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong...
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before in the...
It's just because he's been possessed.
Hey there!
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or don't make me draw my blade, or you won't...
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way. But then we got here...
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako, Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters, never losing a single fight. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us, and we trained hard, determined to keep up with him. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's been possessed by an evil spirit. So, we've asked the Shrine Maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine to perform an exorcism. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head Shrine Maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head Shrine Maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary Shrine Maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an exorcism. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
So, losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
Sensei will be fine. Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei one of his fits of madness. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew, others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed to be the names of sword masters he had defeated in the past. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago, and he has been a wanderer ever since. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the Shrine Maidens managed to subdue him, so the exorcism can finally continue. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Here's hoping Sensei will be back to his normal self very soon. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come! Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person.
How did you catch up with me so quickly? Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does. Unless... I guess it's been a few years. Maybe his skills have improved again.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news, mister.
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day, long before you ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior? Wait, that means you must be...
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to... When we were young, I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Meikyo Shisui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority of disciples are indifferent to rank and reward. I was no exception. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best swordmaster, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind, and that this would impede him from ever mastering the blade. I thought so too at the time, but Domon began making swift progress in his training, and even started catching up with me. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him from this goal, no matter what stood in his way.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Meikyo Shisui art. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high expectations from me. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that day and never looked back. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every last ounce of energy in his body. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade and his commitment to the art of the sword. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? His mind was the sharpest of them all. He had practiced Meikyo Shisui art to perfection. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. I thought mine was a name he had long since forgotten. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see for myself. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now. The exorcism is probably finishing.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. He wasn't here to mess up the exorcism at all. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how the exorcism's coming along.
What? You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible? No, I refuse to believe it. Something's clearly wrong.
Nanako, please. Try not to get agitated.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not rule out possession with complete certainty. And all is certainly not lost, for I received word not long ago that Lady Yae has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Lady Yae? Is that the same Lady Yae that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news! Then Sensei will be sure to recover.
Correct. Lady Yae is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits and aversion of great calamities. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei, but Lady Yae can give a conclusive verdict.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady Yae?
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yae does not like to be kept waiting. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and speedy recovery.
Who'd have thought Lady Yae herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yae's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstand me. I just mean this is Lady Yae, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun herself. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui...
Sure! After all, who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden Shogun from her. think that's Lady Yai? Oh, no wonder Junya is so excited. She has a really... Also, is it just Paimon? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to persecute him.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does that mean he...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
Lady Yai, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the Swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest Swordmaster in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companions. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei, Ansai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Ansai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Ansai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. But I didn't come here to settle a score. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that they might carry you further. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I wish to continue. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my sensei Domon before me, am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you so effortlessly defeated me. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours into their custody. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you have a great number of worthy disciples.
I understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui art. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by once in a while to make sure you aren't cutting any corners with them. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on...
Traveler, a moment, please.
So, the wind that blows from afar for us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a... She seems super... Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our 3 friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the 3 things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends.
Mm-hmm. Wait a second. But isn't Toma your...
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend.
Oh. Okay then.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have Thunders roar. Lightning's... But I believe that surely you... It seems that perhaps now you can... You will? Really? Naturally.
Alright, bravo,
See? Now then, given that the remainder of our...
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask me? The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions. Most of she inspires awe. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Focused exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity, acting accordingly without feeling. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that? Paimon's getting mad.
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt Decree. Of course! We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt Decree.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt Decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt Decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou Commission.
Darn! So they found out about it? Ugh.
Yes. Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would only serve to cast suspicion on any future activity we might seek to attempt. By no means do we. When you are ready. You want to know who you'll be meeting in?
But you can use one if you need.
Just hand it over. You don't want any trouble with me. If you think you're believe me, you're not.
So this is the Vision Hunt Decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch. Psst. Huh? There's. Come on! What's going on?
Shh! Quiet!
Hey! This isn't. Huh?
Shh! If you don't keep your voice down, I won't have one much longer.
All right.
What should we do now? This is your fault.
Many thanks, Miss Yoimiya. If you hadn't...
No worries. You put on quite the convincing...
Oh, so that's what's going on here.
Think nothing of it. Oh, right.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows...
Whoa.
Stop it, hon. As for thanking me, his handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision. Whew,
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man.
Master Masakatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too? You don't say. But if I just... So, what about if I join you instead?
Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must...
Seems like I finally got a new... So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the...
Whoa.
Not bad, huh?
Time to break him out! my seasonings. Now that we're in...
Come on, this way. I certainly wouldn't want to end up... We should split up.
You sure?
Yes,
Nice and spicy.
I must withdraw.
Talk about a big door. It seems we need to collect something shaped like Magatama in order to open it. You're toast! Boba, get them!
I must withdraw. I need to train harder.
Battle formation!
This wall looks a bit odd. Maybe there's some special trick to it. These guys seem a lot tougher than usual. Paimon wonders if that armor over there has anything to do with the source of their strength.
Teach me a lesson.
Soldiers, quick!
Nice and spicy.
power that ended high.
I won't forget this. I need to train harder. Rested.
Doesn't that Magatama shape look pretty similar to the grooves on the door over there?
Teach me a lesson.
Boba, get them!
I dare you! Don't hold back! Allow me. What retribution! I'll spare nothing. I've been... I dare you!
I'll protect us.
I need to train harder. I must withdraw.
Shh! Quick! Hide! That must be Master
Did you really think that little trick? Locking you up was just the beginning.
Oh no! Those Tenryo Commission...
If we don't come up with a way to break him out fast, then...
I can't bear to watch.
Hey, you there! What are you doing?
Ma'am.
We were just teaching him a little less.
Huh? That's Gojo Sara, adopted daughter.
Make way, let me have a look at him. I'm sure you're well aware that torture is strictly against If you are unashamed...
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Hey, this is our chick. Yoimiya, are you sure?
Who is that? Quick, go and investigate.
Yes, ma'am.
They're coming! Quick, hide!
Sorry. Don't worry, I've got us covered.
Fire!
Huh? Was that an explosion?
It sounded like...
Quick, let's hurry!
The fireworks were enough to distract them.
Fireworks aren't...
Well...
Fireworks are my crap.
Look, the coast is clear.
Yoimiya, is that you?
Master Masakatsu!
Come on! We've got no time to lose!
Yes. Leave. He's in serious condition. Be sure he gets immediate... But remember, once he's recovered, it won't be long until I bring him...
Well...
We're finally out.
Yes.
Master Masakatsu.
Don't worry.
Thank you. Oh,
don't worry about us. Just take care of Master Masakatsu. Good thing we were able... Right. It seems as though there... How about we go tell...
I see. So Kujo-Sara stayed. I wonder if we should.
Unlikely. Don't forget, in her eyes, Master, if our true motives were ever.
True. Though if you ask me, Master Masakatsu, we are now one. You're turning.
Indeed. But if we wish to mount any sizable resistance against the Vision Hunt, it is time we make.
There's no need to rush, my lady. Things seem to have taken. Yes, and the number of samurai.
A ceremony, you say?
I don't know, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with us. Anyway, with the Tenryo Commission busy with preparations, we should have a little more breathing room than usual.
You do present a good point. Being in a constant state of alert will only tire us further. Perhaps a period of rest is in order. Toma, what would you suggest?
I'd say a celebratory feast is in order. Might I suggest an evening of hot pot together? Funny enough, I learned a new hot pot game recently. I'm sure you'll find it quite amusing.
A hot pot game? What's that? Well, as long as it has to do with eating.
Simply put, every person prepares an ingredient to add to the hot pot. Once the meal begins, we add all the ingredients together. Then we take it in turns to close our eyes, pick an ingredient out of the pot, taste it, and guess whose ingredient it was. Anyone who guesses correctly can go again, and whoever finishes the meal with the most points is declared the winner. Tradition even has it that the winner receives blessings from the god of hot pot. Don't you think it sounds like fun? I've been wanting to give it a try. In fact, I've already got my ingredients prepared.
You really do want to play, huh? Well, sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Time to gather some ingredients. But what should we choose? Let's see what we've got here. Fresh fish fillets, shrimp, bamboo shoots. Nice! You can't go wrong with these. Paimon can't wait. Paimon never thought we'd be the only ones to actually put anything edible into the pot. Don't go wasting the rest now. This was possibly the scariest looking hot pot Paimon's ever seen. Fortunately, Toma ended up eating all the weird stuff.
You can say that again.
I'm afraid it's your own fault for adding all those strange ingredients, Toma. The soup flavor wasn't quite the same afterwards. Even with the Traveler's normal ingredients, I still couldn't guess any of them correctly.
But weren't you the one who added those little cakes, Ayaka? I think the Traveler ended up eating one. Boiling cakes in hot pot? Ugh. Think of the texture.
I must apologize. To be perfectly honest, I thought the cakes would be a tasty addition.
Uh-oh. I'm definitely not okay. I need to lie down. I feel like a new man.
You know, Toma, all you had to do was guess wrong on purpose and it would have been someone else's turn. Talk about being competitive.
Guess I've been feeling unlucky recently and wanted the god of hot pot's blessing. Perhaps I did get a little carried away. Still, I couldn't be beaten at my own game first time around. I think my luck has already taken a turn for the better. I can sense it. So without further ado, I hereby declare that the winner of today's Hot Pot Challenge is... me.
Oh, brother.
Good effort, team. Another important job taken care of. Next on the agenda, some well-earned rest and relaxation.
Yes. If the Tenryo Commission truly is as busy with preparations as Toma claims, then some rest would be a welcome change of pace. And with the extra time, there are some other matters I wish to attend to.
Let's all take some much-needed time off. After a few days' rest, we'll reconvene at the Komori Tea House and discuss our next operation. Downtime is hard to come by these days, so be sure to make the most of it. I'll tidy things up here and start thinking about our ingredients for our next round.
There's gonna be a sequel?
Sure, why not? We should play again now that everyone knows the rules. I'll see you all later.
Bye, Toma! Seems we won't need to be visiting the Komori Tea House for a while. Why don't we go explore some other places? Where do we go from here? What's the plan?
Traveler, Paimon, hold on.
Huh? Ayaka?
Something has come up, but you ought not be nervous. This is not coming from the
Individual request?
Correct. This may seem a little sudden, but a few days ago, she wrote about all...
Probably your mom's best buddy, right?
Never. And although my mother and father passed away many years ago, so... According to the notebook, their name is...
Paimon thinks it sounds like a...
That's what I thought, too.
So what do you want us? Do you need us to find...
No. Please keep everything I have told you in strict... The proper course of action would be to involve... Exactly.
You can count on us!
Wonderful!
Oh, we don't mind. We don't...
Thank you kindly.
Rain. If only you could cleanse the corrupt souls of this world.
Boba, get the...
Ha! 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 Ha!
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Verdict is... Ha! Ha!